Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to have you here. In today's video, we're going to run the Flux model from Civit AI. We will test it with an Intel i9 with 8GB RTX 4070 GPU with 32GB of system memory. Then, we will use an Intel i9 12GB RTX 3060 GPU with 16GB of system memory. So guys, if you're interested in seeing this, let's jump in. I decided to create this video to demonstrate whether a low VRAM setup can generate images using the Flux model and how long it takes. The Flux model I will be using is from Civit AI. There are many Flux models developed by the community that we can use for low hardware setups, particularly those with low VRAM. However, in this video, I'll be showing you some other aspects to consider in order to generate an image using Flux, even with a low GPU. We will use SD Forge to run this Flux model. SD Forge is optimized for speed and efficiency, even on less powerful hardware. It is lightweight and compatible with a wide range of devices. Comfy UI is also lightweight, but SD Forge features a user-friendly GPU weight slider controller. We need this feature to control how much GPU we can allocate for generating an image, as we will be using low GPU hardware. Let's start with the RTX 4070. With 8GB of VRAM. Here are the available models: Flux BNB NF4, Flux GGUF, Flux One Dev from Black Forest Labs, and Flux Dev. This is the one I downloaded from Civit AI. These are the VAE and encoder models. For diffusion low bits, let's try BNB NF4 FP16 LoRa first. Initially, it will take about 17 minutes on my PC to generate an image, but subsequent images will take less than 2 minutes. After that, we'll try BNB NF4, which is faster. This automatic FP6 LoRa is slow on my PC. I'll set the GPU weight between 70 to 80% of the total VRAM. Let's set it to 6800. We are using NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 laptop GPU, 8GB of VRAM, and 32GB of system RAM. Here is my allocated paging, which is around 40GB. Display 1 uses Intel UHD graphics, with approximate 16GB of total memory and 16GB of shared memory. Display 2 uses the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070, approximately a total of 24GB, 8GB of VRAM, and 16GB of shared memory. Let's set the width to 1216 and the height to 832. These are the LoRa settings. For the prompt description, I'll use double parentheses to specify keywords. This method is useful if you want to emphasize a word. It works most of the time, but of course, not always. For the sampling method, I'll use Forge Flux Realistic. Let's keep the settings for the VAE and encoders as they are. Everything is set. Let's generate. We'll receive a warning saying, "We're using low VRAM." Just continue. You can disable this by adding this argument. Look guys, it's around 17 minutes for the first attempt. Look at the image. It looks really nice. The hands are perfect. No missing fingers. Let's generate again. Let's see how long the second image will take to finish. Let's add the word smiling. The second image took around 2 minutes to generate. See guys, the subsequent image is faster. It's around 1 minute and 40 seconds to be exact. Check the word smiling. Flux recognized it. Let's try another one. Let's add more keywords and see how Flux recognizes them. T-shirt, pink color, save the earth. Third image was almost the same, around 2 minutes. The text wasn't recognized, but the face and hands still look good. Let's rearrange our prompt and check. We might have made an error. Maybe this one, saver, let's correct it to save. Let's add another keyword. Let's include a place, like cafe. I think if you have a high CPU like the 4070, adding more RAM can be helpful if you have low VRAM. However, this isn't proven. For example, my i7 with a GTX 1070 Ti, which has 12 gigabytes of VRAM and 32 gigabytes of RAM, generates very slowly. If you observe the generation process, it consumes not only VRAM but also system RAM. Look at this, guys. It uses 17 gigabytes of system RAM. GPU 1 is limited to 6 gigabytes of VRAM because we set our GPU slider to 6800. The Intel GPU uses a small amount of VRAM. The fourth image is almost the same, around 2 minutes. And look, guys, all the keywords were recognized by Flux. The face, the hand, the place, and the text. Let's generate the last image with a more detailed prompt. I got this prompt from OpenArt AI Workflow. It took almost the same time, around 2 minutes. The image quality is very similar to the original image from OpenArt AI. Now let's proceed to the RTX 3060 with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Let me first show you the specs of this PC. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060, 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and a total of 16 gigabytes of RAM. The paging is around 25 gigabytes. The display has an approximate total of 20 gigabytes, with 12 gigabytes of VRAM and 8 gigabytes of shared memory. I limit the paging to 25 gigabytes because this PC is almost out of storage. If you want to change the paging file, press the Windows key on your keyboard. In the search bar, type Run. Then enter sysdm.cpl. In the System Properties window, go to the Advanced tab and click on Settings. In the Performance options, go to the Advanced tab again. Under the Programs section, click the Change button. This will open the virtual memory settings. By default, the box is checked. Just uncheck it if you want to create your own paging file. Okay guys, let's proceed to generate an image. This is our model, Flux Dev from Civit AI. We will copy all the settings and prompts from our previous project. Let's copy prompt accept this cafe. Let's use the same sampling method. Forge Flux Realistic. Change this to -1. The RTX 3060 generates faster than the 4070, around 2 minutes for the first attempt. And look guys, almost all the keywords were recognized by Flux as well. Let's try again and add a place. Cafe and outdoors. This time the 4070 is faster. The second image took around 4 minutes, probably because of the RAM and paging. The text isn't good, but the hands and face are okay. The place is outdoors, but it doesn't look like a cafe. Maybe our prompt is confusing. Let's check our prompt. We might need to rearrange it. Sometimes this happens, but not too often. Let's put outdoors inside parentheses. The runtime is the same, around 4 minutes. The image is still off, probably because I just copied and pasted everything, especially the LoRa settings. Now let's generate our last image using the prompt from OpenArt AI. This time, it took around 3 minutes. The image is very similar to the original from OpenAI. I noticed that this model from Civit AI generates more accurately than Flux One Dev. I'm not sure if this is the same as the model released by Black Forest Labs. If you'd like to try and download this model, just visit Civit AI. I'll put the link in the description section. Okay guys, I hope this simple video gives you a good idea. A high GPU like RTX 4070 with low VRAM, but high RAM and paging generates images faster for subsequent image, although it can be slow for the first image. On the other hand, an RTX 3060 with high VRAM, but low system RAM and paging generates the first image a bit faster, but is slower for the following image. Before we end this video, guys, let me show you some low-bit settings that will generate images faster. I restarted the laptop to refresh everything. I'm using 8 GB of VRAM with 32 GB of system RAM. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 laptop GPU. For diffusion low bits, let's use BNB NF4. This time, we will use a prompt from Civit AI. Let's visit the Civit AI website and look for the prompt. Let's use this one. Just click this copy icon. Here are the settings if you want to generate an image similar to this one. Click Show More if you want to see the entire prompt. Let's paste the prompt. Retain the GPU weight settings. Swap location CPU. Sampling method, Forge Flux Realistic. Set the sampling step to 32. Let's try to set a distilled scale to 20. Width is 1216, height is 832. Check this out. The system RAM initially uses around 13 GB, but once the initial processing is complete, it suddenly drops. Look at this, guys. The GPU is limited to only 6.6. This is why I want to use SD Forge. We have control over GPU usage. Look, guys, the image is a bit far from the original, but the details is really nice. It only took 2 minutes and 40 seconds, much faster than BNB NF4 FP16 LoRa. The good thing about this setting is that it also works with LoRa. Let's try it. We'll use 2 LoRas. Set this LoRa to 0.9. This avatar LoRa to 0.8. Let's add a keyword. Beautiful woman. See, guys? It works even with LoRa and still generates faster. Around 2 minutes. Let's generate one more. We'll change this to 0.9 and this one to 0.5. This one is a bit slower, almost 3 minutes, but still fast, right, guys? Look at the image. It combines our 2 LoRas and the detail is pretty good. Use these low-bit settings BNB NF4, guys. It generates images faster. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on today's video. I hope you found it helpful and got some great ideas on how to generate images with low VRAM using the Flux model. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more tips and tricks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.